Hello, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Golf at the Park. My name is Jed, and we run a weekly interview show, and we want to thank you for tuning in, liking, and subscribing. We're going to work on these little tags before the show, keep you up to date on what's going on. We wanted an excuse to get Kareem Brown back on the show.
Make some noise.
Make some noise.
I'm back, baby.
But he's back. So we're going to have Kareem on to do some of these updates. And so why don't you just get us started with some of the things that are going on at Angel Park, Kareem?
All right, so right now we're doing Nights at Night. So everybody who supports the Golden Knights, we all love our team out here. Wear your Golden Knights swag. That way you have a chance to enter into a raffle to win a Golden Knights jersey, custom jersey, or it could be a player, however you want it, however you like. Last year I gave away a jersey to a wonderful young lady. She was thrilled to get it. It was cool. So all you have to do is wear nice gear anytime when you come play the Cloud9 course in the evening, and you'll get a raffle ticket to enter to win a free jersey.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Wanted to also remind you about the Heavenly Tour, which is Angel Park's competitive golf league. No handicaps, skins game. So it's for players. They play one Sunday a month, and then points are accrued throughout the year. When at the end of the year in November or December, they play the Heavenly Cup, which is a Ryder Cup style format divided amongst the top 12 players in two teams, and they compete in a Ryder Cup style format. So really, really fun. There's information on the website about the Heavenly Tour, or you can check in the golf shop. And what else is happening, Kareem?
Also, we have our Cloud9 League. We just started up. Series 1 just started. Just filled it up for this series, but we have Series 2 getting ready to start, I believe, May 30th. I believe that's when it's starting up. I should have double-checked with the golf shop before I came on.
No, that's good.
But give us a call or reach out. But I believe May 30th, the next series is starting. It's a 3-series league. You can play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Sunday evenings, 4-man squad or 4-lady squad as well. And then winner of that series gets to advance to the Cloud9 Championship at the end of the year.
Yep. Awesome. That's going to get us ready for the show, except one more tag. The shows have become PG-13 rated, and so there's going to be some that are very clean, and there are going to be some that just have a little bit of profanity in them. Today's guest, Rocky, has a little profanity. He just speaks in his normal speaking tone, so if you want to skip on to the next episode, we'll have a tag or not, and there's plenty of content that isn't that. And on that note, Kareem, you want to say on with the show?
So on with the show. Hit them well, hit them straight, and enjoy.
Cheers. Hello, Las Vegas, and thank you for tuning in to Golf at the Park, Angel Park Golf Club's weekly interview show. Thank you so much for tuning in, liking this video, and subscribing to our channel. We really appreciate it. What we're doing best here at this little show we've got running is just jumping right into the stories. So today we'd like to welcome Rocky DiAntonio to the show. Rocky, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
What's happening, man?
Not much.
Rocky's story is a lot of fun because he's part of the Golf Fathers, which is a content group that golf that's really exciting right now. We're going to talk all about that. But first, you're a Las Vegas native, so you're born and raised here. Let's talk a little bit about your story before golf, because golf happens to you later in life.
Yeah. I mean, my story, I'm born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada. Picked up basketball around, actually, let me backtrack a little bit. Growing up, I was a big hockey player. Played hockey all the way up until about 6th, 7th grade. Family got kind of in a little hardship, and playing hockey is very expensive.
Expensive game.
So I went and bought some basketball shoes and went down that route. Played my first year of basketball was my freshman year at Foothill High School. Took it very serious, ended up getting a scholarship, went to College of Sequoias out in just south of Fresno, California. Played 2 years there, led the country in three-point shooting.
Wow.
Got a couple offers to go to keep going. Decided to come home, came home, started coaching for my high school coach, Coach Soares at Foothill.
Foothill?
Yep. Started coaching a little bit in the AAU world, which is like the travel basketball side. Got some notice that way, and then ended up going to Washington State to coach junior college basketball.
Yeah.
And then came back in like 2021, coached at Foothill for another year, varsity with Paul DeSantis, who's also a big golf guy, and then started popping out kids. So kind of kicked back on the coaching and started coaching my own family. So
yeah, right. So the
then,
family
yeah.
is fun because of the golf fathers, and we'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
But so how it's just been a few years ago that you start getting into golf. How's that start, and how'd you end up into this game that we all love?
Yeah, I mean, after getting older, playing basketball, I was still trying to play a little bit, and it just wasn't working out. I was getting hurt and stuff like that. So all of my friends, including myself, we all kind of started playing golf, and we all weren't very good, but we all enjoyed how difficult it was. Like there's a lot of sports that, if you're an athlete, you could just go out and compete right away. Golf is not that sport. So we all kind of got hooked on it and just started golfing, man.
So you're hooked, and you like that it's difficult, which I think is interesting. I think that's an athlete trait or
Yes.
common theme and thread is athletes. You can't beat golf. You can master aspects of other sports, but you can't master your own mind.
And you can't fake it either.
Right. Yeah. So you guys are having a lot of fun. I love that you're into it because it's hard. Are you practicing? Or are you working on your game? Or are you just constantly on the golf course playing?
I'm starting to work on my game. Yeah.
But that's now.
That's probably been in the last 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm starting to go. My son is just turned 4 and he loves it too. So I've been taking him to the range, and that's when I'll be getting my work in. But even then, like I don't even know if I'm practicing right. So it's like, so like I'm out there hitting balls, I'm out there chipping and putting, but I don't know if I'm doing it right. So I mean, my score's getting better, but
yeah, well, repetition is always good, and sometimes it is good to just go get a lesson, go find a good instructor, and a lesson or two can change a lot of things and open your mind to a lot of things, which is fun. So you're playing a lot of golf with your buddies, and I'm guessing it's the same group of guys that you guys are all palling around.
Pretty much the same. I mean, we have our Golf Fathers group of guys.
Start back at when.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's mostly all the basketball guys. Like a lot of my basketball friends that I would play basketball with, we all transferred over to the golf course.
So is that something that COVID brought about when you guys started getting into golf really, or just a little bit before COVID?
I think COVID it was like pouring gasoline on the fire.
Yeah. And that's what it did for so many athletes. When you say we went from the gym or the basketball courts to the golf course.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we were all slowly starting to play. And then when COVID came around and golf was pretty much the only thing available to do, it really picked up.
Yeah.
It really picked up.
So you guys are playing a lot and you're just having fun, but you're playing 3 days a week probably?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, in COVID time, we started playing a lot. Yeah.
Awesome. And how does Golf Fathers, the idea, start?
So, it goes back to
why don't you tell us? Tell us how it starts, and then that'll start to explain what it is.
So it started with me and my buddy Nick, me and Nick have one of the most toxic relationships you could ever imagine.
We'll end up with Nick on the show.
Yeah, but we are closer than anybody. So it's like we argue, we bicker like brothers, we get into it every day, and we were in one of our regular arguments about who's a better golfer, and our buddy Peter Yun, who's our filmer and editor at the time, he had his own business, and we're like, hey, can you come film this for us so we could show everybody? I kind of wanted it to be filmed so I could show everyone that I kicked his ass, and we ended up tying. So no one won, nothing was settled. So we brought the video back, and everybody loved it. So we're like, all right, let's.
So you didn't even shoot the video as a content piece yet. It was more for bragging rights. And
it was more just to show the group chat and the boys, like, look, like he was talking all this shit, and this is what ended up happening. So we after that, I'm like, let's go get Gino. which if you've watched any of our videos, Gino is our gold mine, our gold. He's everything that we need for content.
So people have told you that they like this idea, and then you and Nick get Gino and you say, hey, let's start
keep going.
A brand or
Well, it was more like
just creating content.
It was more like I always told my boys that, because we all watch Bob Does Sports.
I knew that was the big thing. So how did you find Bob to Sports? What did you like about him? And then how does that be an influence and an inspiration for golf?
So for me, I was a big YouTube golf content guy. Like, I loved watching it. And my favorite was Bob Does Sports. Shout out Bob, Joey, and Fat Perez. You guys are my favorite. And you already know that.
Ideally, we'd like to have each and all of you on the show. So big shout out.
So I would watch them, and I would watch them and be like, man, these guys are amazing. And I think that we could do something similar to this. Like, of course, we're not going to be at the same scale of these guys because they're amazing, but we could do something along the lines of it. So I always told my friends that, and they never really jumped on board with it until we finally filmed something and got good feedback on it. And then we brought Gino and Kyle in on board. And
you guys all have kids.
Besides Nick,
most of you.
Besides Nick, we're trying to buy Nick like a dog or a goldfish or something, but he won't let us. He won't let us do it. So, the Golf Fathers name kind of came in because we're all dads, but we're also all Italian. So we kind of went the Italian route.
It's cute. It's a great pun. Yeah.
But so we got Kyle and Gino involved, which was awesome, and then we filmed 2 more videos, I would say, and then that's when everything kind of took a turn because we made a relationship with Joey from.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your background in sports gambling and how that turns into where we're going now.
So after we got Gino and Kyle involved and we filmed a couple more videos, I've always followed Joey and Bob on Instagram. So I was watching them. They were on some vacation somewhere in Carlsbad, and they're having a great time and they're betting games.
And what's Joey's tag?
Joey Coldcuts.
Joey Coldcuts.
Yes. And then so I see them betting, and I saw that they were getting ready to bet something, and I bet sports a lot. So I'm like, look, guys, don't bet that game. You're going to lose. Like, go the other way. And I was so convinced that I told them, like, hey, if it loses, I'll cover your, the bet. It ended up winning.
And you didn't even think that you were going to hear a reply, right?
I didn't think I was going to get a reply, no, because, I mean, these guys get DMs all day long from people.
Sure.
So he replies, and he's like, no, we're going to go this way. We're set on this. I'm like, look, like, I'll cover it. Like, just do it. He's like, all right, fine. So they both bet it. Ended up winning. They started sending me videos of them all excited.
So now you've got a
I got them on the hook.
And a friendship with Bob to Sports.
Yes. So then, like, the next day he hits me up and he's like, hey, do you have another pick? I'm like, yeah, what, go with this one. And it hits again. And then like 3-4 days in a row that happened. So then from there on out, like, me and Joe just started talking every day. So we start talking every day and, developing like a legitimate friendship. And one day he hits me up and he's like, hey, I want to come down to Vegas and gamble a little bit. I don't got nothing to do for the next couple of days. So I'm like, yeah, come on down. He gets here. He stays at the MGM. We're hanging out. We go to eat every night. We actually played at Dragon Ridge, played at Cascada.
Nice.
Just, just some regular rounds. We didn't film anything. And then, like, the night before he was supposed to leave, we were eating dinner, and he's like, I didn't really expect to like you guys this much. And he's like, I would be glad to help you guys out and film a video with you in the morning, because we were supposed to film in the morning and he was supposed to leave in the morning. So he changed his flight, did everything.
Just to do a content piece for you guys.
And at the time we had 50 subscribers. So, I mean, we were nothing. Like, we weren't, it doesn't do any good for him to do that with us. So he did it for us. Our biggest video at the time, we had 3 videos leading up to his. It had like 300 views, and then we had 50 subscribers, and his video got 35,000 views, and we jumped up 4,500 subscribers like that.
That's incredible.
So we're like, we always tell Joe, he
birthed you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
For lack of a better analogy.
Like, he kind of tells us, like, like, me and Bob had to go floor by floor by floor by floor to get to where they're at. Like, he put us on an elevator to like floor 12, if we're going to floor 20 right
That's
away.
so fun.
So we're very grateful to him, and he just came down here for our tournament.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your turn. Well, let's go back. We'll get to
Yeah,
that.
okay.
So Joey Bag of Donuts is is on board and gets you guys kind of boomed and blowing up.
Yes.
And so you've got a brand now.
Yes.
If you started to monetize it, get sponsorships, work with other people yet?
So from there, we kind of got some people to realize that, okay, these guys are legit. They're not just, some clowns out here. So like Sunday Swagger reached out to us at that point and was like, hey, let me send you guys some stuff. At that was nothing paid at that point. They just gave us a whole bunch of shirts. They had us, wear their stuff in our videos. And at that point, that's all it was. And then
So Sunday Swagger, shout out to them.
oh my gosh, I don't even get me started.
They're
on
the
those
ones
guys.
that
they
also
are the
next to
best.
Joey
Yeah,
have
yeah,
really
Joey and Sunday Swagger, like I would do anything for those guys. I would walk on fire for them if I had to. So so they started out Sunday Swagger just started out kind of with, hey, let me send you guys some stuff, let me see where it goes. And we just kept growing, and they just kept, gaining interest in us, I would say. And what happened from there is Joey was signed with Proud 90, and I kind of had this relationship with Sunday Swagger, and Joey's contract was getting ready to end, and Sunday Swagger wanted me to come out to LA to talk with them about, possibly signing a deal and stuff like that. And I'm like, Joe, like these guys you want to come with me? And maybe you could figure something out too. And Joey ended up getting the best deal he could ever get from them. And he ended up signing with them as well.
Oh, wow, that's great.
So we both ended up signing with Sunday Swagger. We're both on board. So it's just like, it's like a dream come true.
So
it's
you've
really,
ended up with a working relationship with Joey.
Yes.
From
it's
sports picks.
It's
which
unbelievable.
Is awesome.
It's unbelievable.
I love that. All
Yeah.
right. So let's dive in a little bit to what the Golf Fathers is. I brought something up when we were doing our research, and you actually said it before I was even going to say it. We had Matt Nolasco on the show a few weeks ago, and he calls you guys actors.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned that you were going to call him out about that, and I actually was going to. It was something I really wanted to address too, because I think it's fun, and I view you guys more as entertainers and performers, which I'm sure you would probably
entertainers and performers is a lot better wording.
Closer to what you guys are doing. So explain that though. Explain that you guys are caricatures of yourself and the dynamic. I know you said you and Nick have a toxic relationship, but when you guys are setting out planning to do a content piece now, how do you guys organize that? Who's in charge of directing? Break down what you guys are actually doing that is creating content that isn't necessarily for a purist, and it isn't necessarily for golf instruction. It's just straight golf entertainment.
Yes. So, I mean, I'll start from like what we do is every week we have a meeting. We all meet in person. We started out doing it on Zoom, but we found that meeting in person is a lot better. Especially with all of us having kids. So we meet in person, we figure out, what days can everybody film? Everybody, still has jobs. So, this day works for everybody. Okay, so then that day's set in stone. We'll go from there. We'll find out what course we're going to go to, where I've called you a couple times to try to figure that out. And then once we have the course and the day figured out, we'll start going into, all right, now what are we going to do? Now, do we sit here and go, okay, on hole 1, I want you to fall down? And no, we don't set any of that up. If you were to watch us with the telescope from up in the Red Rock on playing, Angel Park, you would see the exact same thing. Whether the only thing that's going to change is whether we're doing like a game or a drinking challenge, or, that's where we'll figure out what we're doing. But that's pretty much it. Like, if we figure out, like I was telling you, like when Joey came down, we figured out let's do a 3v3, and we're just going to go straight up, match play. The next day we're going to do, like the next one we're going to do is a proper 12 challenge where it's going to be a match play type of thing. But when you lose, you have to take a shot of proper 12, which could get kind of nasty.
I had proper 12 for the
Yeah.
first time 3.5, 4 years ago, right when it came out in Ireland. So I can personally vouch for that. And so
Yeah.
you're doing that work.
Yeah.
with
So
them.
we're gonna like so we plan all of those type of things. But as far as acting, I don't. I it's and then for
Well, to get
yeah.
to get to that, why don't we talk about the shot that you did with Matt and Gipper
Yeah, I was going to
Finau?
get to that too. You
Yeah.
know, for someone to say that, hey, they're not very good golfers and they're acting, and then to go on YouTube and get worked, it's pretty bad, bro. You probably shouldn't do that. But because there is proof of us ending a 9-hole match in 6 holes against him. So
This is great, and
yeah.
I know Matt is definitely going to be watching this. So, Matt, we'll take your rebuttal next time. That's awesome. So that's how you're setting things up, and it turns into really big things. Just that I've watched in the last few months. You guys did a tournament of your own. Why don't we
Yes.
talk about that a little bit?
Oh my gosh! So the tournament that we ran at Chimera, it turned out to be something that I never could have imagined. We sold it out in 3 weeks, which was mind blowing. With only probably 7 to 8 groups of guys that we actually knew. So it was a lot of like fan. I don't like to
that's
call them
fun.
fans.
No, followers, whatever.
Yeah, I don't like to call them fans because like we still like get kind of like weirded out about that, but like people that like actually follow our stuff. And
I'm
like,
a fan. I think it's
Yeah.
perfectly reasonable. To
know,
call
like
them
like
fans.
we had guys like me and Nick were on hole 11, like hitting shots for guys, and we had guys come up like, "Hey, we're from Salt Lake. Like we came all the way down here just for your tournament."
That's so cool.
We're from Georgia, Florida. Like we had guys come all over, which was unbelievable. And be on the lookout because that is just going to make us want to do more. And I'm thinking that we're going to end up doing at least 2 or 3 a year.
Yeah, and we're already talking about the
Yes.
night one that we're going to do on Cloud 9, so
Yeah.
that's coming, and it'll be really exciting. And then I noticed you guys went down for the waste management, and I watched a lot of your content. It was great. I want to talk about all of it. But where I want to start is at Papago, because I know you did quite a bit there.
Yep.
Papago is one of our sister properties under the Troon umbrella, so definitely want to say hi to Mr. Crawford, the general manager over there, and all of the crew. Great
Really? I didn't
place.
know that.
So I already love Papago to begin with. Tell me about what you did there and all of that.
Well, shout out to Papago because they were kind of like I don't know too many courses out there, so I called. I don't know if I want to air out anybody, but like have you heard of Quintero?
Sure.
Like we called a
Quintero,
couple.
way out north.
Yes.
Yeah.
We called a couple courses, and they're all like, "Yeah, we'd love to have you guys," but then when it came down to it, like it kind of fell through. So Papago was awesome. Like they stepped up last minute. Absolutely, get out here. Because we had Ryan Pepio from the Dodgers filming with us too, which probably helped. So they were just amazing to us. The course was absolutely amazing. Like I was telling you, the patio situations out there with like the doors.
They have a patio like ours, but it's quite a bit
Oh my
nicer,
gosh.
which is mind blowing. But
Yeah,
yes.
no, it's like the patio. I mean, we got there at like our tee time was at like 2:30. We were there at 11, just hanging out there. I'm not a drinker, and I was drinking, so
That's
it
fun.
just the scenery was just awesome.
That's great. So you loved Papago, and then you went down to play in a golf tournament. I think it was Baptist Sports, right?
Yeah, Bob Does Sports puts on a tournament. This was their second one that they've done. The first one they did was in Miami, which we went to that one as well, which made me go. Going down there, they have a ton of connections that I've made as far as like I actually got to develop a relationship with Bob. Their team as far
So
as
tell
like,
us tell us how a tournament of Bobda works. So you're in Miami. They're bringing in all of their different sponsors and people they're working for. And
yeah, so
setting up
they work with Corona, they work with Celsius, and they work with DraftKings, and that's it. They get taken care of by those guys.
Right.
So when you get there, it's all you could drink Corona, all you could drink Celsius, everything's free. The bags you get like a free polo. The swag bags that they give out are unreal. They got the cart lady just driving around. Just like if you want 10 beers, they give it. It's just absolutely insane.
And it's all influencer built.
It's all influencer built. And they're selling the tournament for $750 a player, and they sell out in 2 minutes.
It's great.
It's unreal. And like I have to be ready to go, like to click my button to get my
and
spot.
all the content pieces are so fun. You guys are obviously having a ball.
That's the main thing that we always tell each other is the day that it stops being fun is the day that we're done.
Right.
We're done.
So speaking of fun, the
Yeah.
only reason you went down to Phoenix was to go to the waste management.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to hear about that.
I mean, we went on Thursday, which was probably the slowest day, but it was still unreal.
Thursday's the day when everyone sprints. It's so great.
Yeah. So we actually we were like we got there around, I want to say like 8:30 in the morning, so we were kind of late. But I mean, it was my first real golf tournament. Besides, I went to the Shriners for like a half a day last time it was here, which I had a blast at that too. But nothing compared to what I went to at Waste Management. We actually had like Gino walk around and interview a couple people too, ask them about certain things and kind of joke around, and everybody's just having so much fun. We're going to go every year.
And through Bob to Sports, you guys got into the stadium hole.
Yeah, well, just hanging out with those guys, you really could, like, if you're around those guys, like, you'll be able to do what you want. So it actually was funny how it worked out. Like, we were leaving, and we were all walking out, and he was like, let's just go try. And so we went, and we stayed there for, like, I think, like 6 or 7 groups came through, and it was like the whole stadium area was already destroyed, and there was beer and stuff everywhere. I couldn't even sit down, but it was an experience, to say the least. Like an experience. I loved it so much. I packed my whole family up, and we went down to the Genesis the next weekend because I just like. Just the whole, I told my wife, just walking the course, she likes
the atmosphere.
Just the atmosphere is just so much fun.
So you said, let's just go to California.
Yeah. Like I want to go to every tournament now. Like I want to go to Florida. I want to do it all, but it's kind of hard.
Do you watch a lot of golf on
I
TV?
watch it every weekend now.
Oh, so you do. So you just watch the players, for example.
I'm a sicko, man. So like, that's what I try to tell. I try to tell Big Matt this too. Like I'm not good right now, but if you have me back on here in a year, I will be ready. I'm gonna be good, and I'm gonna get there.
You're ready to get good.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there, and I'm gonna shut up all the naysayers, and it's just who I am, and it's gonna happen, and I think he knows it too. But I'm gonna get good.
That's
I'm
awesome.
gonna get good, and by good I mean I'm gonna be in the low 70s consistently eventually.
Wow,
that's my goal.
Good.
That's my goal. I want to be anywhere from 72 to 76 consistently.
That's a hell of a player.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to watch you go through that process. And it's so fun hearing all of this. Let's talk about. I know we covered Sunday Swagger. Are you working with any other groups that you want to?
Yeah. So right now we're also working with. They're called Doggone Caddy. They're actually it's pretty funny. It's a hot dog holder that goes into your cup holder of your golf cart. You could set it on there so you don't have to just scarf it down. And actually, like we sold a pretty good amount of them already for those guys.
Hot dog holders.
Yeah, and they're
fun.
And that's another like we're getting monetized by them and by Sunday Swagger at the moment. And I have a meeting with Ghost Golf this week.
Fun.
Which is going to be pretty big for us if we could secure that.
Let's go Ghost Golf.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. Bags, golf gloves, golf belts, towels.
Rocky, what's your favorite thing about golf?
I have a lot of favorite things about golf, but I would say my favorite thing about golf is the difficultness about it. I love the fact that it is so hard. It is. It seems like I sometimes I'll just be laying in bed and I'll just be thinking like, why can't I just hit this little ass white ball where I want
Lying in bed thinking
why? Yeah,
about
like no, but like I said, I'm a sicko. So it's like I sit there and I think about it like it's a little white ball and I can't put where I want to put it, and it's like I don't get it. Like I really don't get it. But then like I do get it at the same time. But that's why I love it so much, is because it's so hard. And then I could go down the rabbit hole of being outside. I love being outside, and like nothing better to me than playing golf on a good day, like a good day of weather, playing outside with your friends.
Perfect. There's
really nothing that you would, and then now my wife's getting into it. My son's getting into it. So like me and my wife will go play. Like, it's just like, there's nothing better than being on the golf course. Like,
how old's your son?
He just turned 4.
And you've already got him swinging a stick.
He's hitting the ball 100 yards right now.
Wow.
Yeah, off the tee, yeah.
That's great.
So he's going to be better than I am by the time he's 8.
We've got a couple little ones out here
Yeah.
that are already swinging the sticks, and it's so exciting. That's fun.
Shout out Sports Stars, Paul DeSantis. He's been working with Rock. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's
Paul
awesome.
DeSantis. We would love to have Paul on the show. So there's that. What about what some things you don't like about golf or that you'd want to change?
I think the things that I didn't like about golf are already changing. Like I think it's becoming more of like not so much like an uptight stickler.
That's an
type of
exciting
thing.
answer.
You know what I mean?
That's what
and
I'm
I also
yearning
don't like
for.
people to like, and I don't like people to be out there being assholes. But I also don't like it to be like there's still like I'm always at Chimera a lot, and there's a lot of guys out there that are amazing, but there's this one guy out there that's a stickler, and it drives me nuts. But it's like I think that the game is starting to become more, I wouldn't say fun, but like it's becoming more of a, like you see like these guys out there and they're having more fun now. Like
loosening the reins is probably
loosening the reins a little bit.
Yeah, is a good analogy.
Yeah.
And it's a tricky line to walk. This game was built on tradition and
I don't want to walk all over that. But at the same time, I do think it's by that happening, it's making more people golf.
Right.
It's making more guys like me get into the game, and I don't want someone telling me or being up my ass about certain things when I'm just trying to learn the game, and they're telling me like, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that, you don't do that, take your shoes off here, wipe your feet. Like the people were doing that to me in the beginning, and it was turning me off. And I just think it's becoming more welcoming.
I think one of the guests we've just had on recently, Kevin Swain, is coming at it from the operator side of this exact same situation. And he's starting a YouTube channel where he just wants to do little 30-second, 1-minute bits about, hey, don't carry your clubs into the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Set them out here. Little things that are just kind of how-tos.
Yeah.
And again, loosening the reins. The dress codes have changed.
Yeah.
Everything is getting more accessible and better,
Yes.
in my opinion. But it is the excitement around the game is something that I haven't seen since Tiger, and I'm not sure this isn't bigger.
I agree. And even things like this, like you got guys wearing these type of golf shoes, like there's Jordan golf shoes on the thing.
Everybody's talking about shoes and gear. So what do you have specific clubs you play? Do you have specific brands other than Sunday Swagger you really like?
I finally got fitted for the first time. So I've been
Tell me about that.
I've been a TaylorMade guy since I started. I love TaylorMade. And then we've kind of developed a relationship with 5 Iron Golf. They've been kind of having us in and taking care of us up there. So I don't know if you know the guy Sean up there.
Yep, sure.
So he finally took me in, and he's like, look, man, he's like, let me help you out. So I was in there getting fitted, and at first he's like, look, I can't even fit you because you're not hitting the ball the same way every time you swing.
Your swing's different.
Yeah, my swing's different. So the first hour, he kind of like broke down my swing, helped me out, which helped me a ton. Fixed my hands, fixed everything, fixed my shoulders, and then started fitting me for clubs, and he ended up putting me in the Apex Pro irons, which I am in love with. Like ever since, I've had them for I'd say about a month now, and it's changed my game. Got me more, like what I was doing before was I was hitting line drive, long shots, but they were never stopping. So like I would hit the green and they'd roll off the back 30 yards. So now he's got me hitting the ball super high, lost a little bit of distance, but I'm getting like more spin. And so I'm starting to learn all that type of stuff.
Exciting.
Yeah. So, and then I got the paradigm set up with the 3-wood and the driver. So
tell me about the analogy. I've heard a lot of baseball players going to golfers and the baseball swing to the golf swing, but I'm interested from a basketball background. How did you work on your game, basketball, in an analogy to? Do you ever think of it the same way? Do you ever try to use the same ideas or?
So I as far as like when you break down the swing part of it, I don't know why I struggle with this, because like my thing in basketball was I have touch. Like I could shoot a basketball.
Feel.
I could shoot a basketball better than most. Like I put it up against anybody. But when I get
it
on
wasn't necessarily a form that you
yeah, I just feel like
worked on.
No, I mean, I
religiously.
like what I do with the golf game is the same thing I did with basketball. I would go to the gym and I would shoot 1,000 shots a day, and eventually I'm just not going to miss. Because as soon as you shoot that every single day, it's going to end up working for you eventually. But so I try to do that with golf. That's the way that I try to put them together, is like repetition, but I don't think it works the same way.
It doesn't. That's what I think is interesting.
And I'm starting to learn that.
Well, repetition is important, but there are so many different. I would assume a golf shot or shooting a basketball, right, is important at the wrist and at the fingertips and at the shoulder and at the elbow. I'm thinking, and that's really important, right? But that's and the knees, right? The golf swing's everything.
Yes.
And most importantly, it's in your head. And shooters are like that too. Shooting can get in your head. So that's where I'm interested in the dichotomy of where they're similar and where they're different. So, and you're right. Repetition doesn't necessarily mean success when there are so many moving parts.
Yeah, that's where and then another thing is like with basketball, like if I'm playing bad or shooting the ball bad, I could go get aggressive, get to the foul line, see a couple go in. I can't do that with golf. I have to do the opposite. Calm down, backtrack, and that's where that's my mental thing. My biggest problem in golf is my head. My friends call me the mental midget of the group. I am by far the biggest mental midget when it comes to golf because I can't let things go. And that's where I struggle the most.
You're talking to a guy who doesn't play the game because it messes with my head so much.
Yeah, that's really where, and that's
get it.
That's where I am, man. Like I can't come back from a bad shot, or like I can't come back from a triple. Like I try my best, but it's like I have friends that we play with that are in our group that just for some reason they could just let it go and it's gone. And like for me, it's like.
Well, God bless you, because I am on board with that 100%. That's fun. Rocky, I really appreciate you coming and joining us on the show. Thank you so much. That's going to bring us to the last segment of the show. We call it our Par 5. We ask the same questions every week to our panel. And if you're ready, we're ready.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. Shot number 1 of the Par 5 is, what's your favorite golf movie?
Oh, Happy Gilmore. Easy.
You, when I asked you this before we give him the questions ahead of time, you said Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
And I was excited because I thought we'd get that answer a lot more than we have. In fact, I think this is the first time we've gotten it. So tell me why. And I mean, I'm assuming it's your age, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a huge Adam Sandler guy first and foremost. Adam's amazing. He's one of my favorite actors. But on top of that, I'm a hockey guy as well.
Right.
So I mean, if you mix it in.
So it was made for you. It almost feels like.
I mean, and then I like the whole story behind the non-golfer coming in and winning. I like that. I like that whole storyline. It's hilarious. It's funny. Happy Gilmore is by far my favorite golf movie.
Happy Gilmore is the easiest, I think, well, other than Caddyshack, to just be able to sit down in the middle of it and just go.
Have you got to watch our Happy Gilmore episode too?
Oh, I have not seen it.
It's funny.
Oh, that's
great.
It's
a good one. My Gino ran into the lake after his ball. So
I can't wait to watch that one. That's fun.
It's a good one.
Question number 2. What's your favorite club in your bag and why?
The 2-iron is probably going to be my favorite club. Yes, because I am.
Because you can't hit it?
No, I hit my 2-iron the best.
So you like frustration in the game, and you have trouble letting shots go, and your favorite club is a 2-iron.
Well, that's really why,
wild.
because like I hit my driver really well. So like if I hit a driver well, I could get it 310, 315, and that's where I would love to be. But half the time I'm out of bounds. So it's like I had to figure something out at the time, and I went to the 2-iron and it started working.
This new TaylorMade is you're really liking.
Well, yeah, it's the TaylorMade Stealth 2-iron. It's just working for me, man. So right now that's my favorite.
That's great.
Yeah.
Question number 3. This is what's your dream foursome? So if you could pick any 3 people, alive or dead, who would you play with? And extra question, where would you play?
All right. So let's start with, I'm going to start with my dad. Always want my dad around when we're playing golf. He actually just started getting into golf kind of when I did too, and he's gotten very good at it. But I cherish every moment that I get on the golf course with my dad. So he's number one. With that being said, I would go to, let's go to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan at number two. I love his competitive greatness, the way that he just decided that he never wanted to lose. That's my favorite. He's my favorite athlete of all time. So that he'd be number two.
The fun thing about Jordan is, I think I've mentioned this in one of the earlier podcasts, Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, but I think I heard of Jordan saying it first. He was addicted to golf, and it was hands down his favorite sport. And then Gretzky said the same thing. And I remember just thinking, these are athletes who have mastered their game, and they prefer the game again that is against themselves, that is in their head, that is one-on-one ultimately. And I just think that's awesome.
It is.
So Dad, Jordan.
And then I'm going to go with the wild one here that just recently creeped up into my top three would be DJ Khaled, because watching his golf content on Instagram.
Another one. He is
amazing, man. I would die to play golf with him.
He just got into golf, I think, because I've seen his content a lot, but it's all been within the last month or two.
His thing is, let's go golfing.
Yeah, it's great.
Let's go golfing.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled. That would be good for a playlist. What kind of music are you listening to?
I'm all over the board, man. I could go as far as country to rap to reggae.
So you've got a wide palette.
Whatever anybody's is wants to listen to, I'm in. And
I'm guessing on the course you guys are playing music a lot.
Yeah, but we can't when we film though, because when you film you get copyrighted if they could hear it in the background. So when we're not filming, we're out there having fun with the music. But when we film, we can't, which sucks. But.
Yeah. Question number 4: what's your aiming fluid?
As far as the drink on the course.
What are you drinking when you're out on the golf course?
So I mean, if I was gonna have to say alcohol, I'm not a big drinker.
Yeah, so you don't have to say
I don't
alcohol.
drink a lot on the golf course, but if I was to drink on the golf course, it would probably be a Screwball, which is peanut butter whiskey. I'd do that with some water. That would probably be my drink.
Peanut butter whiskey and water.
If you haven't
is not
had
an
Screwball,
answer I would
you gotta
imagined.
try it. If you haven't had Screwball, you gotta try it.
All right.
But Nick, this one's for you. But if I gotta be honest, what I drink consistently would be a Coke.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola.
That's usually what I get, is a Coca-Cola and a Snickers bar.
And you're set.
And I'm ready to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Question number 5, and this is the time where the show might not be PG rated, but the show isn't technically too far from PG-13 anyway these days. So question number 5, unedited. What's your phrase or your word when your anger gets the best of you? Do you have a one particular thing that you say? Because most golfers do.
Yeah. You sure you want me to say that?
Yeah, you're allowed to say it. Just get it out once.
If I hit a bad shot, you could usually be prepared for like one of those two.
Yeah, so completely derogatory and awful. Yeah,
and I apologize for those words.
But at the same time, relieving and letting something.
And then it's usually followed up with a, "Hey Pete, can you please edit that out?" That's usually what that follows up with. Edit that out, Pete. We're actually going to get shirts made that say, "Pete, can you please edit that out?"
That's funny,
because there's so many times that we lose our mind and our cools on the course that we have to have them edited out.
That's great.
Because we don't want to seem like we're psycho. So
that's funny. Well, thank you again, Rocky,
Thanks
for joining us. Thank you for joining us. That's the end of the episode. Check out the Golf Fathers, everybody else that we've tagged below, the sponsors. Thank you, everyone. Want to check out Troon, our corporate sponsor at troon.com, and their Troon Rewards program, where you can save up points and play all of our sister courses, including Rio Seco across town and Mountain Falls out in Pahrump. So on that note, thank you again for tuning in. And until next time, hit them straight from your friends at Angel Park Golf Club. Cheers.
Nice. That's it. It's awesome, man.
Fun, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.